What's up? What's up? What's up? Peace and gifts. This is Savage Writer, and I'm back with another video. So, today's topic, I want to talk about living on a college campus and in a college dorm, what that experience is like, how it's been for me, and if it's a good thing for you to do or not. Now, this video is for anyone who may be in college or aspiring to go to college, whether if you're a commuter, whether if you're still in high school or you just graduated or you may be a freshman. It doesn't matter. Anyone can relate to this video. And if you've been thinking about, well, should I live on campus, then this is for you. And it does have its benefits, and also it does kind of come with its own set of problems, and I will talk about that in this video. So a little bit about my background. So initially, I'm actually a transfer student at the current institution that I'm at now. Previously, I went to a business-based school where they offered associates and bachelor degrees. And there were multiple reasons why, after I got my associate's degree, I decided to go to a different institution. One, the major that I'm taking, which is English, they didn't have that at my previous school because it was a business-based school. You either took business, criminology, which some people call criminal justice, but all that falls within the same spectrum. Fashion, what else? Health services and other stuff like that. And really the only thing that truly interested me was business, because I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. Well, I am an entrepreneur, actually. I wouldn't say aspiring. I am an entrepreneur, and I wanted to learn more about how I could start my own business and things of that nature. So I decided to get some of that experience. And the school that I did go to previously, I got a lot of individualized help. It was a very small school, probably no more than maybe 500 students in total. It was a pretty small school. It was in the city. It was on a city block. Compared to where I'm at now, it's a big old campus, and there are easily thousands and thousands and thousands of students, on campus daily. And far as the entire body is concerned, it's probably within the 10,000s, over that number. So after I got my associate's degree, I went through the whole process of transferring in, and most of my credits did transfer over, thankfully. And I got started with that. And when I was doing my application for the institution that I'm currently at now, it asked me if I would be interested in considering housing, and I said yeah. And there are multiple reasons why I decided to move away from home. Number one, the living situation that I was in, it wasn't really that good. I don't want to get too much into that, but I wasn't in a good environment, and I wasn't around people who could help me grow, who could help me reach that next level. I felt like a lot of times the people that I was around, I had to dumb myself down for them because they couldn't understand everything that I was trying to fight for, everything that I was trying to accomplish. They couldn't see that. And it got to a point where I got tired of having to, simplify myself and condense who I am. And if I got to do that around people, then those aren't the people for me. That was one reason I decided to get away from home. Number two, I wanted to feel like being an adult, because I am an adult, and I wanted that true experience of being on my own. Now, I still can go home because the college campus that I'm out, it is in a suburban town, but the city that I live in is only about 10 minutes away from here by the train. So I could easily go back home, but I've been doing that less and less now because I need to get that experience of being on my own. And there's going to come a point in time where I'm going to have to be on my own. I can't live with my parents forever. I can't be around my family forever. I can't do that. I got to be willing to get out and explore the world. And being on a college campus will teach you what it's like to really be an adult and to be independent. You get that experience. And for anyone out there that's looking to do that, I recommend that you take that. Another reason, this probably goes back to what I just said. I wasn't in a good environment. I live in a city. and it's a lot of crime, a lot of violence, a lot of desperation, and sometimes you get tired of seeing that. And I just decided to do something new, and I want to see new things, and I want to meet new people that I've never met before, like experiences that I wanted to take. So those are the reasons why I decided to move on a college campus. And I'm gonna tell y'all this right now: moving to a college campus is a huge adjustment. It really is, especially if you never lived on your own for the first time. You know, if like you used to being on your own, then maybe adjusting won't be too big of a problem, but still, it is a very considerable adjustment. It's something that takes a lot of willpower to do. It takes a lot of guts. It's something that really is not easy. You gotta adjust, and you're gonna miss being home. You're gonna miss like the life that you used to have, and that's perfectly fine. That's normal. It's gonna take time for you to adjust to things, and I know I keep repeating that word, but it's true. So like, especially for those who are just getting into college, if you are thinking about transferring to a college campus, weigh your options though, because cost is a factor. It does cost money to live on campus. That's a huge factor. Think about that. And additionally, look at if it's going to be more convenient. If your college is not like close to home, if it's far away from where you live, then I definitely would recommend that you do live on a college campus, since it is more convenient. I would recommend that. But if you're close to home, you could just stay home, but like everybody's situation is different. If you like have a certain living situation and you want to get out, then I recommend you do try that. And other things you need to think about. You need to definitely follow protocol, because when you do move in, there are a set of rules and regulations that you must follow. You have to sign a living agreement, roommate agreements, and things of that nature. They're basically going to tell you a list of do's and don'ts. And I know the campus that I live at is basically a dry campus, so that means no drugs or no alcohol in the dorms. Because if they do find you with that, then you are going to face immediate disciplinary action, and that could potentially cost you your housing. So you want to be very mindful of that. If you are going to be doing that stuff, I would recommend that you do it outside of campus. Though you can't prevent everything from happening. People are still going to do what they want to do. So, I mean, I've seen some stuff, and I've only been on this campus for going on 2 months now, and I've seen some shit. So another thing you need to think about, because you're going to be living with people. You're going to be around a lot of people, a lot of different people of different nationalities, of different backgrounds. They're not going to look like you. They're not going to talk like you. And you have to be very cognizant of other people's differences. You can't be sitting here being belligerent. You can't sit here, be racist, and be discriminatory against others, because you can face disciplinary action for that too. And a lot of people, they're just adjusting to the same things that you are. And so you have to, be mindful of that. And another thing, like, a lot of things are going to be happening. You got to worry about room inspection. Because I know for my dorm, we have a monthly inspection. Basically, your RA, which is your residential assistant, is going to meet with you and talk about different things that you have to have for the inspection. But everybody, your suite mates, everybody has to sign an agreement. Everybody has to sign off on, okay, I'll take this part and I'll take that part. Like, I'll clean the bathroom, you clean the kitchen, you clean the living room, etc., etc. And sometime, I know for me, we rotate for every inspection. And you have to sign the paper. Everybody in the room must sign the paper. If nobody signs the paper, then you fail the inspection. But room inspections aren't that difficult. All you got to do is just make sure everything is clean. You don't have any prohibited items. Because that's another thing they're going to tell you about. Before you move in, they're going to basically give you like a whole sheet of things that you should bring and things that you shouldn't bring. So, and also make sure that you eat you have food. Be mindful of that, because that's very important. I recommend packing like noodles, what else? Basically stuff, freezer stuff. You could bring like actual food to cook, because I know many halls, they do have community kitchens. So you could like actually go down there and like cook your food. But that's only like through a certain time. I know for my community kitchen, it's open from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. the following day. So you want to be mindful of that. And if you have a meal plan and you can go to the cafeteria, that's good too. I recommend you also take advantage of that if you have a meal plan. Because I know here at the school I go to for freshmen, they have unlimited meal plans. And upperclassmen, they can switch their meal plan to having unlimited, but here's the thing, you would have to pay more money. And if you're trying to save money, then I recommend you take the bare minimum. And also when you shopping for rooms, because you're gonna shop for rooms, and you're gonna have to like do a survey, like of things you would want in your room and things you would not want in your room, essentially. And then your survey questions, whatever your answers are, the system is gonna match it up with other people of similar answers or interests. And then based on that, they're gonna place you in a room. And when you shopping for rooms, there are different options. You can have it single, whereas you could just have a room on your own, because there are different kinds of rooms on campus. I know for me, there's the 2 beds, the 1 room, 2 beds. Because you come into the dorm, there's like the living room area, little kitchen area, and then there's 2 rooms, and each room has 2 beds that could fit 2 suitmates. So yeah, and there's also a singlet, like you can have your own room or whatever, or on a higher floor with a different view. But be mindful that whatever option you choose, it does cost money. So it's very costly. So if you're trying to save as much money, I recommend you just like take a room that got 2 suitmates in it, the 2 bedroom. Take that, because that costs less. Because at the end of the day, you got to pay all this stuff back. So I would recommend you do that. I need to get into the benefits of living on campus. There are many benefits to living on campus. 1, you get to meet a lot of people. You get to make friends. You get to see different things. And there's always something happening. Always. You just got to look around. Usually, like, your residential assistants of your hall will, like, post events and stuff like that. And they'll notify you of things that's going on around the campus. There's always something to do. And you could come and go as you please. You don't have like a curfew or anything like that. But however, I know to get in my building, I would need an ID card. And without that ID, I can't get into my building. So, and also, if you bringing guests over, I think you do have to like fill out a kind of form. But that's if they sleeping overnight. Like they staying for a long period of time, I think you have to put that in for events. You have to fill out a form. At least at my college, you have to do that. I think there can be a certain amount of unplanned stays. Yeah, they can be. So you want to check in with your assistants about that. And another benefit is that you're closer to the college campus. Because I know a lot of people who commute. Because where I'm at, parking is a big issue here. I don't drive yet. I have my permit. I'm working on my license now. But a lot of people drive and they complain about the parking. And I must agree, the parking is pretty shitty where I'm at. But still, being closer to college will like help you a lot. You could get to all your classes easily, and you have more accessibility, you have more flexibility with that. And another thing, you ain't got to worry about what's going on back in your household, because you're away from home. You ain't got to worry about, oh, is my mom doing this, or if my parents doing that. Well, your parents, your mom and your dad. Like, what's going on here? What's going on there? Like, you ain't got to worry about that, because you in your own little lane and you doing your own thing. And plus, again, you're going to be meeting a lot of different people. So, and another benefit to living on campus is that, really, for the experience, man, It's a very great experience. Like, you're actually going to get a taste of what it's like to live in the real world, because there's going to come a point in time where you can't live with your parents forever. You can't do that. You're going to have to eventually get out and explore the world. And what better time to do that than now, while you're still young, while you still have the opportunity. And I recommend college. I recommend it. I recommend you do it in college. You understand? It'll really help you in the long run. So I know I've been talking about the benefits. What about some of the problems? Well, for one, if you're not used to being away from home, it's going to be a huge adjustment. You're not going to be used to it. You're going to miss being around your family. You're going to miss being around your friends because you're not around that anymore. Yeah, you still can go home. Depends on where you live. I know I can still go home. But, however, it's still a huge thing to get used to. And it's going to feel confusing at first. And I know for me, it's pretty lonely here. I don't really know anybody. I don't have too many friends. I mean, I'm getting cooler with people, you know, but still, at my old school, everybody knew me. Like, I always had somebody coming up to me. I felt comfortable where I was at. But coming out here, it really opened my eyes, and I see things from a different perspective. So that's one thing. Also, another thing, right? Really, cost. It is going to cost you a lot of money. If you got financial aid, then you're good. But still, there are some things that financial aid cannot cover. And so you might have to wind up paying out of pocket. And I know to submit an application for housing, you might have to pay a little fee. It's not too big of a fee. It depends on where you're going. But usually, I know for my school, to submit my residential application, I think it was like $100 fee or something like that. But other than that, yeah, cost is a big factor. Additionally, you got to supply your own food. Like, if you got parents or family that's willing to help you out, that's great for you. But some people, that might not be the case. They may not have nobody helping them out. And it ain't like when you home, you could like, oh, I'll just go get some food. Like, no. Like, you really have to be mindful of everything that you have and everything that's coming in and everything that's coming out. Because it can be tough. So, budgeting, that's another thing. I know you want to eat out, you want to have fun, but you got to think about the facts. If you got bills to pay, if you got to put food in your refrigerator, or anything else of that nature, or if you driving, you got to pay car note, you got to pay for gas and stuff like that. You can't be out here just throwing money up like you in a strip club. You got to really budget efficiently, because if you don't, you're going to be in some big trouble. So yeah. And another issue, you may have certain instances where you're going to be dealing with certain people that may not like you, or you may be having problems on campus with certain people. That can happen, though that's rare. It can happen. You may get into something, or somebody may be trying to like hate on you or something like that. But if you ever do feel like you're being intimidated by somebody, or somebody's bullying you, then you have help for that. You can go to your residential assistant, or I know on my campus we have actual police. There's like a whole, I think, police department dedicated to that. So if you do feel threatened by anybody, then you can go seek help. It's out there. So really, I know this was a lot to say. It was a lot to take in. But really, if you are planning on coming to college for the first time, or if you already in college, or you just want to move closer, because here's another thing too. You don't have to necessarily live in a college dorm, because I know where I'm at, there are a lot of apartments around the area that's near the campus, that's within walking distance. So if you do just want to be closer to a college campus, then that's your other option. But other places, you may not have that luxury. And you might want to be mindful of that too, because some of those apartments can be expensive. I would recommend having roommates if you do decide to get an apartment, or if you could pay for your own stuff, then that's cool. But I definitely would recommend living with multiple people, because y'all could all split the rent. You know what I'm saying? It's more cost efficient to do that. You know, when come the end of the month, you know, like, okay, you pay your end of the rent, I pay my end of the rent, and he pay his end of the rent. Like, everybody pitch in. So if that's the option that you want to take, then you can have that as well. So really, back to what I was saying, I would definitely recommend living on a college campus. It's a fun experience, once in a lifetime. You're going to meet a lot of people, you're going to do a lot of things, and you're going to learn a lot of great life skills. That's another thing I should have mentioned. There are many programs that do teach you about life, and they teach you how to budget. They teach you how to eat healthy. They teach you how to stay on top of your schoolwork. And you have that assistance around you. They not just going to throw you into a pit full of lions and let you get mauled, you know? Like, and I know with my residential assistants, they in college just like me. They students just like me. It ain't like, oh, he's just a bunch of adults who don't know anything about college students or whatever. Like, they students just like you and me. So they understand what it's like leaving home for the first time and getting used to this new experience. But I definitely would recommend it if it's in your interest, or if it's in your budget. I definitely would take the opportunity, because it'll change your life. I know for me now, it's still something I'm adjusting to, but I know in the end it's going to pay off a lot, because I'm learning a lot. And I would recommend that you do the same. So that's it for this video, and I hope y'all enjoyed it.